Those are visuals from the home of the officer who was killed yesterday. Well, this afternoon, the IGP, James Bueno, is promising to invoke the full might of the Ghana Police Service to bring the perpetrators of Monday afternoon's robbery attack to book. Mr. James Bueno is currently at the home of the officer who was killed in that robbery attack, and my colleague Manuel Planting is joining us from there. Hello, Manuel. We can clearly feel the mood at the home. We can clearly feel the mood at the home right now. Tell us what is happening in your background right now.
Absolutely devastating scenes that we've been seeing in the past couple of hours that we've been here at the family house of Emmanuel Osei, the slain police officer from Monday afternoon's armed robbery attack. Indeed, the entire hierarchy of the police service has been here assuring the family of its utmost commitment to bringing the perpetrators of that heinous crime to book. It's been a bit more than just receiving the assurances of the Ghana Police Service. In fact, we've had family members, who have been wailing this entire period, sharing some of their really fondest memories of the gentleman whose death they are mourning this afternoon. Well, just a bit of, context to why this is particularly, a really painful situation for the family. Well, Emmanuel Osei is just about 10 days from becoming 26 years old. His birthday is on 25th of June. and he did not live to see his 26th birthday. We're learning that he passed out of the Ghana Police Training Academy less than a year ago. It's just about a month and a half to his 1 year anniversary since he passed out of the Ghana Police Training Academy. So it gives you an essence of the expectation really that the family had of him as a budding young man who had just begun his career as a security officer with, we are told, the SWAT headquarters here in Accra. And so I just try and get a bit closer to some of the family folks who have thrown here, trying to commiserate with the bereaved mother, and then also essentially get a mood of what they are feeling. Mame, we dey be ma shedding ona myself Iman kasa na o nim ne say say friend Kobi e wo fie.
Patran friend Kobi wo fie. Me bra no.
Na your bra.
Patran.
Na amani hu asem o ye den na o te ne say.
Me krom bo me wansa na ndra na homachia na me wana papa friend me say ni say na sie. Nti ye nyina fu ye mu tama mu kai kra me bi sa hwani Kobi ati say asem na wadi ewu pa wadi ewu na mun ye ho adwuma maye mun ye ho adwuma pa fa maye.
And I'll just try and speak to a bit more of the folks here. Well, we're learning that his sister Ruth Aboajua, who we're told has just stepped in, will be speaking to us very briefly. But this lady has been speaking quite devastating. Me who say we Susana, what we are then out here say me.
Me ba cho Kobi enua. Me ne share wo. Even time I see that in Kobi, he has done a lot for us. That's mean to me enka. I am a for, although my husband is a military man. But also the course na me who say I was say security no airtight because we are all in this together. For example, now I can say me kwe jumaba. Saturday me hono ofia o so sister me kwaba. Me nya dan bi wo hanti me kwaba wo betemenka. Na Monday ya te sa asem we a say na obefa no. Na me bisa say na ye ejuma because na obetene eku police ni wo ha say. Ochon be ko na soja ni bi ewu ha say. Ochon betene eku custom ni bi ato ha say. E cost too much. Enti dia me srene say ye nyina ya ti oman we mu ye hu de ekoso wo ha. Akoso too much. Enti ye nye bibi mfa ho. Na me bisa say Kobi kono koye ni asoma no. Ana se ono ano de ne pekoye. Because ye hu ahobambo bia ade ye wono ho. No bulletproof, no helmet, no shield, bibia ni hono mo. Na ye se asoma no. Enti soma na ye soma ne sen. Yenti ase, ya dwuwa. Yenti ase. Enti me pa cho me bisa o, so ye soma no. Soma na ye soma ne sen. Enti me pa cho, munya bibi mfa ho. Why? Na ye di ya dodo. Ye di ya.
Ene IGP abaha na IGP wa mawishe mu se omobe bomodian na ewudifoi omode omo mutumi achi omo answer no be answer just to recap a bit of what she says. Now she's questioning really the modus operandi of the police service. She's asking that was Emmanuel on an assignment, and if he indeed was on an assignment, what is the protocol for policemen if they're going on assignment? Are they supposed to be wearing some protective gear? If they are indeed supposed to, why wasn't he wearing? And these are questions that James Opon-Bueno, the Inspector General of Police, has been assuring that the entire police architecture is fervently looking for answers to. But Sena Namekano IGP Obayano Wakase Sene Ombeye Bia Ombetumi Ache Ewudifo Ombeye na otie no aba wa hwehemu. Oh, me wa hwehemu ewni asem na oka no. Na de bia asem yo moka. Asem yo moka.
Ebi o ha omo hu omo, ebi so ha but we die ya dodo. Enti so baby bia. Omo nye nanim ya because ade no ya dodo. Enti masama meka no.
Well, she's asking for a speedy investigation and indeed, you know, fastened, as it were, a resolution of the matter. And we're just learning in just the past couple of minutes that Emmanuel just moved out of this particular house to a rented apartment somewhere at Kanda, less than 72 hours before he was, you know, shot to death. We learned that he moved from the house on Saturday evening around 5:30 p.m. with an assurance of returning to take his family members to go see where his new home was to be. That assurance will not be claimed as we have come to learn after he was shot. Let me speak to this lady. Wait, the baby, sir. I say Saturday now. Or say 20 mattress be and okono no kaden okono de na mimi ni ha nti machiriba eno no honom nti me andra na me ye frame me say andra 5 o'clock no no na me nua ne frame me say ye friend say me mra na ye shoot me nua no na me say ye shoot no sesen ena so mo di sika akọ ba bi na ye friend say ye shoot no kolebu ho say na me say na say denti ne ye shoot no ado okono bambo ben na ye fence mpanifo de ma no nti a ye shoot no e fi say so okọ ba bi a asa obi odisika akọ ba bi de e wo say bambo bi de so wahu hemnet bi de ye fence sa yi no de ye ti otimi shebi so wahu na we bibi anhye no na ye se onko into Somali Somano and Fasobene also. And she's just reiterating the point that the lady made earlier about questioning the safety gear and so on that he was supposed to have been wearing. But I'm just trying to get answers to how he left. Itina hanumina hayana na ote ni oni ni na Saturday ya no tuye.
Saturday ya no tuye yankasa ne Madina ene yetena ye. Ansana me papa esi fie oba ha no se nti ahia achesa ha e no wansa na obenya edwuma no mu kwan edwuma no aha no wansa na obenya mu kwan nti se wakọ hide na nti se Saturday ya oba fie no so okọ aba nti Sunday obeba besesa na niam ayede e de akọ bebia wa hide na wo kan na ho no na achese yeti se Monday anopa ye de yeshutu no se wehu nti mi se ya achese ade esi no ye nti ase nti mpanifo aban ye bi hu biribi ma yen abanye hu biribi ma yen yenua be ma ba akopeu ye chi ni enim nyina no no nti aha ye pa nti Roberts for ne de mpanifo ne nya hwehwemu enim ha ya na omonsanka omoma yen yesra omo pa omo aha yen.
And to give the just rehashing of the call by the family for, you know, a speedy investigation and resolution of this particular matter. We heard them say that they want justice for their brother, their son, their friend, for he is, you know, one of the folks that they actually were looking forward to bringing some sort of spotlight to the family. And as you have just learned, he moved out of the house less than 72 hours to his death. And that's something that is striking the family in, you know, more ways than one. We have learned this afternoon also that the Ghana Police Service has appointed a liaison officer between the family and then the service itself to, as it were, arrange for, you know, his burial and other arrangements that are so needed to, you know, keep the family really at peace, even as investigations progress. And so there's a liaison officer that has been appointed by the IGP. Also, we know that the case has been given solely to the CID boss, Mamiti Wado Dankwa, essentially giving you an indication of the level to which this issue has been elevated. And then also, as we heard the IGP mention earlier, that they are invoking the entire might of the Ghana Police Service to bring the perpetrators to book. So in your shot currently behind me is the liaison officer currently speaking to the father and a few other members of the family on the arrangements on exactly how the service is going to proceed in conjunction really with the family as the investigations carry on. So Gifty, the picture and if you like the mood in the family house of Emmanuel Osei, who's affectionately called Kobe at home, is quite solemn and one that smacks of, you know, lamentation and real devastation, and they are asking for a speedy resolution of this particular case. They want a police to bring the perpetrators to book. Gifty, if you can hear me, right here from Millennium City, Akaswa, in the central region.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Manuel, thank you very much. Manuel, the Crampton reporting from the home of the slain police officer. As you heard, he had just moved out, got himself a place near Kanda, and that was about 48 hours or 72 hours ago, before or after his death. So it appears that perhaps none of his family members even know where he lives. You've heard what they're calling for. First of all, they have concern about heightened insecurity. They also talk about the protection that this officer may have had on the day that he was put on this assignment. They want immediate resolution to the matter, as Manuel said. I want to take you now to back to the crime scene. We were there yesterday. We spoke to some of the eyewitnesses. We spoke to the family of the woman who was killed. My colleague, Maxwell Agbagba, is standing by there for us once again. Let's take a look at what is happening there a day after that incident. Maxwell.
Yeah, Gifty, the usual beehive of activity that you'll find here in this community very close to the timber market is not existent here today. A cloud of grief still hangs on this community, not just a cloud of grief, but also a cloud of fear hangs on this community, as many of the residents here are unable to go about their normal duties. Now, if you come to the community, some of the exit points that vehicles use to get in here, entry and exit points have been blocked, and it was blocked by the community members. So it's very difficult for vehicles that usually use this place as a thoroughfare to get to the timber market and other places to use it today. The residents tell me that it is because they are still in fear of what happened yesterday. If you come here, there's this red cloth that is hanging here very close to this electric pole here. And this is the convenience store where the 40-year-old mother of three used to do her business. So on a normal day when you come, you find her ice chest, you find her other wares displayed here. And for cars and people who use this place as a thoroughfare, this is where they usually would get sachet water. This is where they'll usually get drinks when they're working, because this is also a business enclave. There's a pub here, there are mechanics here, all sort of, you know, people doing business here. And all of them actually buy from this woman. But today her shop is closed because she died yesterday as a result of the shootout, and you can see her tables and everything here. I'm told that the family has relocated from this community. The mother of three who used to live here together with her children, her husband, I'm told, lived in another community. Yesterday when the incident happened, when we came here, we spoke to the husband, distraught husband, and we are told that he came for them yesterday, he came for the children yesterday, and they've relocated from this community. Now, if you come here, this base here, this makeshift structure here actually served as a place where many of the community members come to de-stress. So if they want to talk about football, this is where they come. When they want to talk about boxing, because the boxing arena is also very close here. This community is also very close to Bukom. So when they want to talk about boxing, this is where they come to discuss all of that. On the day when the incident happened, yesterday, sometime around 11 a.m., when the incident happened, I'm told that there were just about 2 people here in this structure. But on a normal day, you find about 15 people all gathered here. But for some strange reason, there were only 2 people in here yesterday. A man who was in this room actually saw exactly what happened. And this is the spot where the police officer was actually shot. So we are told that the car was parked here, he was inside the car, and then the armed man moved in closely on him and then fired him in the head. Now, there was a man who was in this room who was sleeping. He tells us that when he heard a gunshot, he raised his head and saw a very tall, fair man who was doing the shooting. By natural instincts, he nearly screamed, but another friend who was with him in there told him to just keep quiet, so they all lie down. And that was what happened, and that was how they got saved. That man is with me here today. We are not going to show his face. I don't want you to show your face. Come closely. So carefully, don't show your face. And then you narrate to us exactly what happened yesterday. Do not turn. Tell me, you were in this room.
Yes.
The shooting happened just here, right in front of you.
Yes.
What did you see?
I just lying down. The moment when I hear it, a gun shot him. Pow, pow, pow. Where I wake up my head. The moment when I saw his gentleman wear a cap.
He was wearing a cap.
A cap and a long sleeves and jacket.
He was in a long sleeves and a jacket. Earlier you were telling me that it looked like a bulletproof vest.
Yeah. I can see something like that. But the moment when the thing happened, you can't open your eye and watch everything very listen. So you have to hide yourself. So the moment when I see shooting two bullets, open the police side, shot again and took the gun and passed the Bullion Van back. Since that time, I also lie down, so I didn't come up again to see what's going on. Yeah. But
by natural instincts, you nearly screamed. Now, what happened? Your other friend who was with you, what happened to him?
What he tell me that, quiet, don't talk. So I have to calm down again. I didn't talk again. So that after that, I didn't see anything going on again. What I see, they are run away before I take my phone and call the police. 1 hour before they arrive here.
The police arrived here, you said 1 hour?
No, it can't read 1 hour. It can't read 1 hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But tell me, at that time that you were in here, hearing the shooting, so you were in this structure, and you were hearing the shooting happening right here. What was going through your mind at that point?
Before, I was thinking, it's 1 hour. My mind is telling me that they are joking. So the moment when I raise my hand and see the Bullion Van standing there, where the gun shot in, where I said, no, this is a serious problem. So I have to lie down. Yeah.
What was going through your mind? I'm sure you were terrified. You still look traumatized, even when you've lost your voice as a result of this. Tell me, what was running through your mind at that point?
Oh, I don't know. So, what I think is, God has saved me from the death, because the way the guy is shooting and the place where the guy stands, the place where I was lying down, he can even kill me at any time. So I just thank God he didn't turn the gun to where I am. So that's why I make something like that.
Okay. Because of how close you were, you had the communication between them. What language were they speaking?
I didn't hear any language. They are talking. I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything. But some of the people we spoke to yesterday were telling us that they were using the F word, something I cannot say on TV. Did you hear them saying anything like that?
Since that time, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. What I do with myself, I just protect myself and lie down. So I didn't hear anything that time again.
How do you feel living in this community today?
Now we are afraid. People who live in this community, we are afraid, because since yesterday I didn't sleep. Because I'm very shocked. So I didn't sleep. It's not me alone. Our friends also afraid of what's happened yesterday.
Before you go, the description for this man again, you say he's tall?
Yeah, he's tall. He's tall and wearing a cap. So the moment when I saw his shooting, I didn't watch his face 2 times. When I wake up, I just saw his face now loud and again. So I didn't force myself to watch him.
Is he dark or fair?
Yeah, I didn't watch it before I was in sleep. So when I wake up, I see his screen. So I didn't watch it very well. Yeah, I was in sleep.
Okay. Thanks for giving us this information. But don't show your face, please. Don't show your face. Okay. Yeah, so you can now walk out. Let me speak to another man who was not... Don't show your face, please. Don't show your face. Kindly come here, please. Okay. Another man who also lives in this community and has been talking about, I want you to turn this way, who has an idea also of what happened. You were not in this building, but you usually come here. Yeah. What happened yesterday?
Oh, yeah, I heard the news in Joy News in Adum TV, and I quickly rushed to this place. So when I reached here, I saw that there's a lot of people over here screaming, oh, this, and I said, oh, what's happening? They said, oh, my auntie who is selling provision and those stuffs over here is dead. There's an armed robbers has come and attack us, attack a Bullion Van over here. And I said, when did this happen? Because we have not heard of these things before in this community. You see, that's what make me come here. Yeah. Yeah.
So how are you feeling? You, the residents, how are you feeling here? I understand that yesterday you attempted to block the exit points because you thought they would use the side out of the community, but that did not happen. They used another exit point to get out. But you were telling me that the Bullion Van, this is the place that it usually, this is a stretch that it uses usually to get to the timber market where it takes monies and all of that.
Yeah, it's true. The Bullion Van have been passing here all the time. I've even told him that even when they pass here, they throw all their glass and giving them one now. They shouldn't use the Bullion Van to pass here because this place is not good place for them to use a Bullion Van to pass on this lane because this place is roughly, you see. So the moment I heard that this car has been attacked, this is what I said. You see, it has come on. You see.
So you actually want the Bullion Van driver not to be using this?
Yeah, that's what I told you.
But any idea why he continued?
Okay, the idea that I have is, I've been seeing that, you see the junction there getting to Palladium, to the other junction over there, there's a huge traffic over there, so they wanted to dodge. They will pass here to the timber market inside. Yeah. That's why I saw that he has been passing here. Yeah.
So as residents, how are you feeling in this community? I can see the of activities going on here today. That is not normal for you people living here.
Now we are not feeling well over because we are dramatized because we have not seen such incident over here before. You see, because this thing, even this area, if you are a thief and you come here, you take it easy to go out. You take it easy to go out because the way the guys over here, we are all united over here. So anytime we see that if such incident is coming, we normally say, oh, child, this is what is going on. Somebody's coming, you see. So the moment when they were coming, we didn't hear that they are coming with guns and those. We didn't see anything. What we got to realize that, oh, they said this is what is happening over here. That's what some of my colleagues told me. Okay,
thanks for talking to us.
Thank you too.
Okay, so so can you walk out of frame? Okay, yeah. So at this point, we want to take you, Gifty. Wanted to have, you know, a view of the community and how busy it looks on a regular day. Even today, business here has toned down because of the incident that happened here yesterday. And once again, this is the spot. So this is where we had the blood of the police officer. It has been covered with suits from a black tie, obviously to cover the blood. So this is where it happened. And then this is where the eyewitness who we spoke to just some minutes ago was sleeping when the incident happened. So he saw the shooting, saw the person who did the shooting, by natural instinct wanted to scream, but managed not to scream. Let's walk you through the community. Let's have a good view of what this community looks like. Now, the timber market, the busy timber market is just some meters away from this place. It's just 100 meters away from this place. So in here, you find mechanics who do business here. So you see all these vehicles here. So you find the owners of these vehicles coming here to visit the mechanics to check up on their cars. So there are a lot of activities here. This is a pub. This is a drinking spot, which is here. Earlier, I came here to get water. The woman who sells the water, in fact, when she saw me approaching, her face changed. And she told me that that is what it feels like now doing business in this community. And when I spoke to her, she was like, she was watching me carefully because she didn't know, she knows that I'm not from this community, and she does not know the kind of threat that, you know, I will pose to her, so she has to be very careful. It tells you the fear that the people here are experiencing now. Now, this is a place where they sell kinky, women busy doing business. That was what was happening here in this community when the robbers invaded this busy place and then attacked the Bullion Van. I want to show you what happened yesterday. So the residents tried blocking the road using this metal here. The operation, we are told, lasted 3 minutes, and they tried blocking the road using this metal. But unfortunately, the robbers used another exit. They used the other side, so they were able to get away from the community. Now, these things were put here today because the community members tell me that they don't want anyone to use their space as a thoroughfare for now. They say they are grieving, and it is important for them to be able to grieve in peace, and they don't want any disturbances of any sort, so they've blocked this exit and entry points, Gifty. So this is what is happening here. People still living in fear. A once vibrant community, now it's not the case, Gifty.
Maxwell, thank you very much for that very detailed report there. Maxwell Agbagba, who has revisited the crime scene from yesterday, hearing from witnesses and conveying how much fear has fallen on this particular community today. Meanwhile, Joy News has secured exclusive details of how the driver of the Bullion Van, who was attacked by the robbers yesterday, was saved at the hospital. Eric Ochre is one of, he is the driver, by the way, and he got gunshots. Let's hear from the doctor.
Yesterday, we were all with the sad incident that happened around the, I think, boxing, Bukum boxing area close to Kolebu. Victim was to us at who happens to be the driver of the Bullion Van. He had sustained gunshot injuries to the chest and to the limbs. He was in a very bad situation. He was in shock. And our assessment showed that the bullets had penetrated the chest wall and damaged vessels and was bleeding heavily into the chest. He also had bullets in the thoracic spine, and also the gunshot injury damaged the right hand. There were pellets in the whole of the right upper limb, in the arm and in the forearm. As soon as he was brought, though he was fully conscious, he was drowsy and was in shock with very low blood pressures. In fact, his blood pressure was about 80 systolic and 50 diastolic. So it means he was in a severe shock, and we started resuscitation. We tried to stabilize him. Now, in the process of the resuscitation, we noticed that even though we were giving him much fluids and blood transfusion, his blood pressure kept dropping. And so we did further evaluation and realized he was bleeding actively in the chest and had accumulated a lot of blood in the chest, which will have been detrimental to his survival. So as an emergency procedure, we put a chest tube into the chest to drain the blood. But we realized that whilst we were draining the blood, he was still bleeding profusely in the chest. So yesterday in the night, around 9 p.m., he was rushed to theater by the cardiothoracic surgeons, where he had thoracotomy done. In other words, surgery that opens into the chest to stop all the bleeding points and to be stabilized. As we speak, he had surgery yesterday and he is fairly stable, but is still on the recovery wards of the cardiothoracic. If you brought in fresh as an accident victim, there are steps to get you alive. You are not rushed to theater. You are taken through processes that will identify life-threatening situations such as shock and bleeding in your airway. And we deal with these things and get you fairly stable before we wheel you to theater. So the 6 hours, we were resuscitating and stabilizing him, which is the key to survival for any accident victim. For all accident victims, the first processes, which we call the primary survey, is the most important thing to be done, which identifies life-threatening situations and deal with them. And that is precisely what we did. So with the 6 hours, everybody, all the staff in the emergency were actively resuscitating him with fluids, with blood, and doing emergency procedures on the ward, like passing chest tubes. And all these things got him better. That allows you to now take him to theater to intervene definitely. You know, the preventive aspect is very important. I think the policemen who are detailed to do this sort of work should be armed with bulletproof vests and things like that. And as the IGP rightly requested, they should be using vehicles like armored vehicles, not pickups. At least you put in all the measures to and to prevent. But once the incident happens and people are injured, they should be rushed to every nearby hospital. Yes, that is very important. Once the injury happens, fortunately, they were within the reach of Kolebu. So he should be rushed to Kolebu immediately. If Kolebu is far, the Usher Fort Clinic is there, you could have been taken there. They will have started some resuscitative measures and then pushed to Kolebu. For us, once they are brought, we do everything, you know, to get them out of danger. You know, for you to be in severe shock, it means if nothing is done, you will die. That's how bad it is. Because there were pellets in the chest and he was actively bleeding in the chest. He had life-threatening conditions. One, he had hemothorax, and two, he was in shock. So these two things alone can kill him if intervention is not done quickly. The hemothorax, that is a blood collection in the chest, and the fact that hemodynamically he was in shock. If no intervention is done, you won't make it. Yes, you will die. And this intervention ought to be done pretty fast. You've got to act fast. You have short time on your hand when you have these emergencies on your hand. The first hours is the golden hour to save the person. Therefore, these things need to be addressed immediately, the shock and then the hemothorax. And that is what we did precisely, and we succeeded getting him out of life-threatening situation.
And that's the doctor who helped save the life of this driver from that robbery incident there.